Hi everyone, my name is Rosarie Berliana Sinaga. Today I will explain to you about the subject of text analysis, particularly about the first chapter of Introduction to Systemic Functional Linguistics. So there are 5 things that I want to talk about today. The first one is the definition of what is SFL. The second one is the 4 basic principles of SFL. The third one is text and context. The fourth one is 3 metafunctions of language. The fifth is thematic progression. But at the end, I will explain to you about the final summary of the 5 things that I will explain to you. Okay, now let's learn about the definition of what is SFL. SFL of systemic functional linguistics is a language theory by Halliday. So unlike traditional grammar, SFL focuses on how language is used to make meaning in real life, not just rules. So in short, language is seen as a tool. We use it to share ideas, express emotion, and interact socially based on our purposes and situations. Okay, and then the second thing that I want to talk about is the 4 basic principles of SFL. The first basic principle is called language as social semiotic. So language is more than just a grammar. It's a social science system that carries meaning, shaped by our culture and society. The second principle is called language as a resource for meaning. So language is a flexible tool we use to create different meanings in different situations, like texting versus writing a report. The third principle is text, not just sentence. So SFL focuses on complete text because meaning becomes clearer in full context, not just in isolated sentences. The last principle is called language in context. So we can separate language from context, and there are 2 main types. The first is context of situations, which means what's going on, who's involved, and how language is used. The second context is called context of culture, so the broader cultural backgrounds that shapes meaning. The third thing that I want to talk about is text and context. So a text is any complete piece of language, spoken or written, that is used with a purpose in a certain context. And then, context of situations equals registers. So it has 3 parts. The first is field, which means what's happening, tenor, who's involved, and then mode is how is language being used. The third is context of culture. This refers to the deeper cultural norms and expectations that shapes communication, like how formality changes across cultures. And then the fourth thing that I want to talk about is the 3 metafunctions of language. SFL explains that language works in 3 ways at once. The first is additional functions. It means talking about the word. It includes experiential, it means who does what to whom, and then logical, how are ideas connected. And then the second metafunction is called interpersonal function, which means interacting with others. So how we express attitudes, make requests, or share opinions. The third metafunction is called textual function. It means organizing messages. So how we arrange ideas clearly and flow smoothly in a text. The last thing that I want to talk about is called the thematic progression. Thematic progression is a textual function and helps organize ideas in writing. There are 2 types. The first is theme. Theme means what the sentence is about or the starting point, and then the rhyme. The rhyme is the new information that comes after. There are 3 common patterns, and then the examples. First is the constant theme, means same theme repeated. For example, the project is interesting. The project teaches us about teamwork. So there are 2 sentences that with the same theme repeated. And then the second common pattern is called linear theme. So rhyme becomes the next theme. So the students were excited. Their excitement led to better results. And then the third common pattern is called split theme. So one theme leads to multiple rhymes. For example, healthy food helps in two ways. It boosts energy and prevents illness. So it boosts energy and prevent illness are the multiple rhymes. So these patterns make writing clearer and more connected, especially in academic texts. So to summarize, first, SFL helps us understand how language makes meaning in real situations. And then the second, it views language as a resource, not just rules. The third one is it focuses on text, not just sentences. And then the fourth one, it looks closely at context, both situational and cultural. The fifth one is it explains meaning through three metafunctions. The last one is it shows us how ideas flow using thematic progression. So I guess that's all for my explanation in text analysis subject, particularly about the first chapter, Introduction to Systemic Functional Linguistics or SFL. Thank you for your kind attention and goodbye.